Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road. Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Hello and welcome to the Powassan Sportsplex in Powassan, Ontario. I am Matthew Sukram alongside Courtney Kenny, and we are set to bring you tonight's game between the Powassan Voodoos and the Soo Eagles. It's an East versus West matchup tonight. Just the second time these two teams will face off this season. The last time was September 23rd, and the Powassan Voodoos came away with a 4-3 victory, but that was not the case last night. The Powassan Voodoos were on the road in Espanola, and Espanola walked all over them. 5 straight unanswered goals to open that game, and that really set the stage for a 9-2 loss at the hands of Espanola, Courtney.
Yeah, it's not a good look for the Powassan Voodoos these past couple of games. If we can call a 2-game skid a bit of a rough patch, but I mean, for a team where everything's gone so right this season, to have 2 games in a row, especially against the lowly French River Rapids and then the Espanola Paper Kings, who are a very good team in the West in their own rights. But I mean, it's just not a good look the last 2 games, but the Voodoos definitely looking to rebound here on home ice against the Eagles, like you mentioned. And, they're starting Dan Duracolo, which is also a good start for the Voodoos here in this game, as well as he's been arguably the best goaltender in the league this season. Tyson Wilcox, their third stringer, with Miles Gordon out with an injury, got the start yesterday at Espanola. So, he hasn't seen much ice. He's only really played against the French River Rapids in that game, and he looks stellar. But that's where you can kind of excuse a little bit of the score a little bit with their third string goaltender in net. But again, Voodoos definitely looking to rebound here, Matt.
On the other side, the Soo Eagles come in off a win on the road as well yesterday. So both teams were in action yesterday, both teams on the road. This is the end of a 2-game road trip for the Soo Eagles. They picked up a 7-4 win against Kirkland Lake yesterday. They actually were down 2-0 very early on in the second period in yesterday's game, but they stormed back, ended up taking, or they were down 3-2 going into the third period, but they scored 5 unanswered goals in that third period en route to a big 7-4 win over Kirkland Lake. A good response after they had been on a 2-game losing streak, losing 4-2 to Timmins and 6-0 to the Sudbury Cubs. Both of those games were last weekend, so for the Soo Eagles to snap that 2-game losing streak last night was something that they sorely needed.
Yeah, especially against the Greater Sudbury Cubs. That's a divisional rival. And, they've done pretty good. They beat Blind River, who's one of the top teams in the West as well, earlier in their little run here. But to fall to Greater Sudbury, a team that you've been chasing all season long, not good numbers either. And the Timmins Rock, don't look now, Voodoos fans, but the Timmins Rock are coming on strong in the East Division as well with standings. They've won a few games in a row. They beat the Voodoos a weekend ago as well. So the Timmins Rock, showing a bit of that championship core that stayed together on the other side again. So it's going to be a bit of a dogfight here, I think, in the NOJHL this season, unlike previous seasons. Again, that's one of Ben Sargent's favorite things to do on the podcast, is talk about the NOJHL standings. This year, a lot tighter than it has been in years past.
We'll definitely touch on the standings in just a little bit. What's interesting to me is how evenly matched these two teams on the ice tonight in front of us are. But before we get there, let's take a look at who we are going to be watching for tonight in our Players to Watch.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's welcome to the ice.
So for the Powassan Voodoos, we're looking at Alex Little, who got into the lineup last night. First time in quite some time that he was in the lineup after suffering an injury in the Showcase tournament. Courtney?
Yeah, Alex Little not off to the, games played mark that many people would have hoped. He really drove offense for the team last year, especially from the back end. But just getting in a few games, he's still almost a point-a-game player. And as you mentioned, he got injured in that game against the Sioux Thunderbirds in day one of the NOJHL Showcase. And he's the engine on the back end that makes his team go. So to get him back, very special. And, of course, 2 points away from what could be a milestone night as well for Alex Little.
And on the Eagles side, we're looking at Jack Powassan, but we are wondering, we just got a late note that he might not actually be in the lineup. So we will keep you informed on that as we pause for the national anthems.
We're so gallantly screaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. Garde ton bras, c'est porter l'épée, il sait porter la gloire. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, God, for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard.
So just ahead of puck drop here, and I do see Powassan in there. So a little bit of a mix-up there. Sorry to get to confuse everyone, but he is out there. So he will be our player to watch on the Soo Eagles side as he comes in with 26 points this season. He's the team's leading scorer.
He has been great for the Soo Eagles so far this season, looking every bit that top scorer, like you mentioned. I mean, 26 points on the season. That he'd be leading the Voodoos in points with that right now. Matthew McMillan is the closest at 23, so he definitely knows how to create plays for his team, and that's great news for the Soo Eagles, who last year probably didn't have the season that they would have liked to have had in Soo, Michigan. And they always seem to get a little bit overshadowed by their counterpart across the border with the Thunderbirds. But the Eagles are off to a great start this season as well.
And we hope this will be a great game tonight as the puck is dropped and we are underway with Little chasing it behind his own net in the Voodoo zone. He gets it down the wing and Thompson turns it over at the line. Olin going in, but there's a delayed offside, and that will allow the Voodoos to gain control of the puck. Played down the near side, it bounces out to Thompson. Thompson tries to pass it back to Shields, he connects with him. Shields brings it over, looking for the centering pass. That's blocked, and it's Olin going the other way for the Eagles. Olin feathering it across, and the stop is made by Duracolo. Kicked around in behind the net. It goes to the far side boards. The Eagles take control of it. Coming to the top of the circle, passed off to the right side. Shot coming in, and Duracolo makes the save.
One thing that you can really say is Mason Rotundo has really gained the trust of the coaching staff here for the Powassan Voodoos. As he's up on that top pairing with Alex Little, and Mason Rotundo, a rookie in the season, played for the U16 Trappers last year for North Bay. They didn't have a great season, but Mason Rotundo so far has separated himself from the pack and made himself look great in Voodoo's green to start this year.
Sweltzer off the draw, moves it across to the far side. That was Landon Stevens dishing it off. It goes around behind the net, picked up on the near side by Case. Case gets hit hard on the boards. Sweltzer picks it up for the Eagles, and he sends it flying high and over the glass and out of play.
Alex Case, of course, another Powassan Voodoo that's been great here in his short time with the team already, as he's put up a lot of points, and he was that offensive catalyst on the back end with 10 points in 15 games while Alex Little was out with an injury. Got cut from the Nipissing Lakers this year, found a home with the Voodoos, and his brother Nick is a former Powassan Voodoo as well.
Case chases it behind the net, sends it around to the far side. McMillan trying to move it out of the zone. Couple of guys whacking away at it. It goes back behind the net. Case is there. He'll move it to his left, looking down the ice. He got it through everybody's skates, but then he couldn't connect to the leading player, and now it's sent in towards the net, and the save will be made by Ramirez.
And that's Wraith Smith, who is the player up the ice who's been hotter than, well, I don't know how else to describe it. He's been one of the hottest players on the ice for the Powassan Voodoos. Wherever he skates, he melts the ice a little bit. That's how hot he's been. And Battalion prospect, of course, he picked up a hat trick a couple of games ago, and he's been scoring ever since.
There's a shot going in, bouncing, the rebound chance, it's turned aside. That's Smetham in the corner, trying to feed it down. Now it is Patrick there. Moves it to the point, turned over, and here goes Oland again. Oland coming in, Slides it across, they score! On the other side, it's Kenny Belanger Jr., and just like that, a minute 45 in, the Eagles strike first. It's 1-0.
Kenny Belanger Jr. with his 11th on the season, and the Eagles early here have been getting a lot of chances that look like little 2-on-1s starting off, and with that one it was a 3-on-1, so it was really where's he going to pass it, and Kenny Belanger on the back step right there, able to easily bat the puck past DeRoccolo, who was just hung out to dry on that one as the puck got around him. And you know what, no fault on the goaltender on that one, but the Voodoos need to tighten up defensively here as just under 2 minutes in, the Eagles lead 1-0.
It was really the first opportunity for the Voodoos in the offensive zone, and they had some sustained pressure, didn't put a lot of pucks towards the net. As Shields goes in on the backhand chance, puck is loose in front of Ramirez, but it's turned away. And a hard hit on the near side, that keeps the puck in the zone. Little with a shot that just goes wide. As we said, Little chasing history, 1 point will tie him with Cameron Moore for the franchise lead. A second point tonight would put Little all alone at the top, and he's alone in the corner for the Voodoos as he sends it to the middle. Picked up there by Thompson. Thompson sends it to the point. Shot comes in. That one's blocked right into the skates as Rotundo will chase it back out of the zone. Across to Little, and he will dump it in. Sent around to the far side. Voodoos pinching in, looking to keep the puck alive inside the Eagles zone. This is a great response after giving up the early goal. That's turned aside by Ramirez, who had to come in relief in that game last night against the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. In fact, all 4 goalies between the starters and the backups played last night as well. As Courtney touched on, Tyson Wilcox started. Dan DeRoccolo came in relief in that loss to Espanola. Well, Anthony Zolezi, started last night's game against Kirkland Lake as Ramirez freezes the puck. And Ramirez came into that game and got a pretty decent chunk of ice time. He came in the and played the last 35 minutes. Excuse me, it was the other way around. Ramirez got the start, and Zolezi came in relief. So Ramirez getting the start again tonight as the puck comes down the ice. Ramirez allowed 4 goals in 35 minutes and 29 seconds of ice time. Then Zolezi got to hand it to the rookie coming in relief and shutting the door in the final 24 minutes, stopping 14 shots. So he was tested. It looks like he also picked up an assist last night as well.
Hey, you love it when you get offense from your goaltender, right? Can't complain too much with an assist there.
And as I said on the other side, Wilcox got the start before DeRoccolo came in relief of him. That's offside there. 16-14 remaining in the first period. 1-0 for the Eagles. They're being outshot 4-2 right now. The Voodoos also outshot Espanola last night as well. Not by a lot, but they outshot them, and they did not outscore them.
No, the Paper Kings, when they don't play a penalty-filled game, they're a really dangerous team. You know, they got a lot of point-of-game players, and the Voodoos are no strangers to firing that puck on net either. We've seen them outshoot a lot of teams here in the Sportsplex this year, sometimes getting over 50 shots a game.
Espanola got 4 of their first 6 goals on the power play. So the Voodoos penalty kill leaving something a little to be desired on the coaching staff side of things. Right now they're desiring an equalizer, but, well, talk about it enough and it shall appear. Here we go, penalty kill time.
Into existence.
Yeah, penalty kill time for the Powassan Voodoos. Going into the box is Patrick, and the Eagles will get their first power play of the game.
You talk something enough into existence, it seems to happen, although maybe not so quickly or as quickly as that. Like, if I say I want $1 million a million times, I don't think I'm getting $1 million as quickly as the Voodoos are going on the penalty kill here.
Here's Fisher with the shot from the point, sends it into the corner, back up high to Fisher. That shot gets blocked off of Shields, but they can't clear. It's Fisher again to the near side. Pouliot to the middle, shot coming in, save made. Rebound is blocked as well. Picked up on the far side, Case can't clear it. It's Fisher again. He misplayed it at the line and has to chase it out of the zone. The Soo Eagles come in with the 11th ranked power play in the league. Just 11 goals for on 86 chances, and here they come into the zone. On the far side, they play it to the line, kept in, played to the boards now, looking to set up to Fisher. That gets blocked, chasing it to the near side boards and clearing it out.
11th ranked isn't good when you're in a 12-team league.
That's right. 12.8% on the power play. And they've got 50 seconds remaining in this one, their first of the game. McMillan chases it to the far side. A check that McClelland. And that's sent down the ice. Boy, when they had McMillan, McClelland, and McLean on the same team, that must have been really difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Chasing it down the right side. Going in, looking for the wraparound. That's denied. Hendry with the shot. And that gets sent into the near side corner. Cleared out of the zone. Jansen in the battle there. And it's turned away. The Eagles recover the puck. 15 seconds to go on their power play. Fox brings it over. Pass to the near side. Jansen into the corner. That's Freund down there. Back up to Jansen across the left side. Jansen again. Shot coming in. Save made. Loose at the near side of the net. They poke it and it's in. Just as the penalty expired, the Eagles get on the board. It's 2-0.
There was some good puck movement on that power play. That's Freund with his fourth of the season, or Freund rather, his fourth goal of the season, as he was just right on the doorstep, able to knock it in as Dracula was out of position, having made the initial stop. And then, of course, he couldn't get his glove down quick enough to stop that one. But again, even if it wasn't on the power play, that still had residual effect from the power play, as the Voodoos didn't have all 5 guys in their own zone. So once again, specialty teams biting Powassan here early in this one. As you mentioned, 2-0 now with just 6.5 minutes gone.
And we didn't get to mention it during the power play, but the Voodoos penalty kill, 8th in the league coming into this game. 75.9%. There's a shot that just goes wide. Voodoos again trying to respond. Another shot. Big rebound. Little in the middle trying to push it forward. And it goes wide into the corner. Wraparound chance. And Ramirez makes the save.
You know, and coming into this game, Ramirez might not have the greatest numbers, but he's putting up some good opportunities here for against the Voodoos. Going 7-4 with a 309 goals against average and an 896 save percentage. On the other side, Dan Duracolo coming in with arguably the best numbers in the league. 8-3, 203 goals against average and a 943 save percentage. That's just out of this world. To the point where, and he called us out for this, but Ben Sargent wanted to compare them on the podcast, and I was like, man, don't get me wrong, him and Dom DiVincentis at the time, don't get me wrong, they're both great goalies, but it's hard to compare when they're in different leagues.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, Dan Duracolo comes right up to me and says, what are you doing comparing me to Dom DiVincentis?
I mean, one guy is drafted by the Winnipeg Jets, and there's a save made by Duracolo, and it's recovered.
Nearly batted in. Speaking of Winnipeg Jets, Patrick Laine shooting it in his own net a couple of years ago. Caden Dubroy almost batted the puck in on his net there as well, but Duracolo had to be strong on that one, or else it could have been quickly a 3-0 game for the Soo Eagles. And here early in the first period, that wouldn't be a good sign for Peter Goulet's Powassan Voodoos.
Not at all, especially after last night's game where the Espanola Paper Kings jumped out to a 5-0 lead. And the Powassan Voodoos really trying to get back into the win column, as this is icing.
Speaking of coming into this game, though, he was able to continue it last night, as Matt McMillan is putting up, as general manager Chris Dawson likes to say, Jack Hughes-like numbers, although Jack Hughes right now dealing with some injuries, so maybe we don't want to compare them too much. He has 12 points during his recent 5-game scoring streak, and that included 2 points last night. So the Voodoos scoring 2 goals last night, and McMillan being a factor on both goals.
And as I said before, these two teams are pretty evenly matched up. There's a chance at the side of the net. Ramirez sprawling across to make the save, and then he smothers it to get the play blown down. But if you're looking at the Eagles, 4th place in the West, the Voodoos first place in the East, but the Eagles actually have one more point than the Voodoos do this season. If you break it down to the league overall, the Eagles are 4th overall in the league in terms of overall points. They have the 3rd most wins, tied with the Thunderbirds and the Blind River Beavers, with 13 coming into tonight. There's a chance, the shot scores! The Voodoos get one back! It's Caleb Dawson with the snipe from the top of the slot.
Caleb Dawson with his 4th goal here in the early part of the NOJHL season. He's looked absolutely fantastic in all the games that we've seen him in already here at the Powassan, or with the Powassan Voodoos at the Sportsplex. And of course, he was a dangerous player last year with the U18 North Bay Trappers, the champions of the Great North U18 League, as he's able to half the lead here. It's now 2-1 Eagles. But Caleb Dawson, I was just about to say on that last break, but the conversation went elsewhere. You got the feeling of it wasn't going to be if the Voodoos score, it was going to be when, as they had some dangerous looks there leading up to that goal.
He's having, like you said, a really good first year here in the NOJHL. A North Bay Battalion draft pick that we hear General Manager Adam Dennis with the North Bay Battalion was actually really high on out of their rookie camp this past summer. And that goal right there, I mean, that was point perfect. There's a chance in front of the net again. A couple of Voodoos involved, but it's pushed away. And the pushback from the Voodoos after giving up both goals has been good.
If you looked at it earlier, that quote-unquote 4th line was the first line back out after the first goal that had all that pressure in the Eagles zone, you know, and we've seen it kind of be a makeshift line as Peter Goulet's gone through some rotations, but for the most part, we've seen Justin Russo, Owen Smetham, Caleb Dawson, and Caden Dubroy make up most of that line, and when they're out there, they get their chances. They aren't like your typical, you know, shut down, grind it out 4th line. They're a dangerous line, and 2/3 of that line, Justin Russo and Caleb Dawson played together last year as one of the best lines in the Great North U18 League. Just missing Jesse Thompson, who plays for the French River Rapids, and Justin Russo was MVP of that league last year as well.
Playback underway. That's Kobe Fox with the puck behind the net. Tried to get a quick pass going out of the zone. Freund overskated it, but then it got caught up in the official skates, and that allows the Eagles to maintain possession and dump it down the ice. But it's the Voodoos who get control of the puck. Darby McCarthy moving it down the left wing, sends it across the middle. The shot coming in, and the save is made.
And just to your point earlier about the Eagles, you know, having, you know, being 4th in the West and having more points than the Powassan Voodoos, the wild thing about that is the Voodoos have mostly played Western Conference opponents until a weekend ago.
Yeah, they had a heavy Western Conference schedule. That eases out in the second half of the season, which is good because you want to be playing the teams that you could be potentially trying to put some space in between you and them in the division standings.
And as of right now, it's only really looking like a 2-team race with the Voodoos and Timmins Rock. Hearst has scuffled a bit lately, so, and to start the year.
Coming down the ice, a partial break. It's taken down at the end, and Zach Schweitzer is going to...
It's going to be a slashing call, so no penalty shot.
I thought it was, but no, I never saw the point, so yeah.
No, so it'll be Case in the box now. And as we mentioned, it might not come down as a power play goal on the first goal for the Eagles, but it definitely had residual effects for sure, as they weren't back yet to 5-on-5 in their own zone. So we'll have to see if the Voodoos can buckle down here and keep the puck away from their net.
10:02 remaining. Second power play of the game, as you said. And a 2-1 lead. There's a shot from Fisher. Gets tipped just high. Going into the far side corner, now up to Pratt. Pratt dishes it back off to Poweski. Poweski receives it again. Down low, back up high. Poweski to the right side. That's Fisher. He sends it in, deflected back in front of the net, but Pouliot could not bury it. Into the near side corner. That is Shields. Just covering up the puck and trying to wean down the time, but it gets up high to Fisher across to Pratt. Pratt, Powassan, now Fisher again the shot, and it's off a skate in front. Picked up by the Voodoos Shields, and he sends it down the ice. So that brought down the first 50 seconds of the power play, and by the time they get down there, again, it'll be about a minute remaining on the man advantage for the Eagles. And it's Powassan over the line, played it to the left side boards, back in the corner, and now shoveled up high. Now it's Jansen, shot, that's wide. There's a hard hit on the far side. The puck bounces in front of the net, trying to bury it under on the short side, but it's turned away. I don't know how the Eagles player, I think that was Belanger, did not bury that one. It looked like he had Duracolo beat. He was right in behind him, and it didn't look like Duracolo was holding the post, but somehow that puck did not cross the line. And now Fox up high to Jansen. Hendry to Fox, one-timer coming in, goes wide. Hendry in the near side corner, and the puck gets cleared.
Yeah, what you were saying there from our angle, you could see the puck slide behind Duracolo, and his back leg came and kicked it back out. I thought for sure with the way it was if he touched that puck, it was going to go into the back of the net, but somehow it stayed out, and it's still a 2-1 game with 6 seconds left here on the power play.
Eagles up 2-1 with 8:09 to go, but they're being outshot 11-8 by the Voodoos, and on possibly our next whistle, we'll have our mid-period break, but who knows? We can't go to break on an icing or a penalty, or if there's a goal scored, so it's almost like the percentages are against you.
Yeah. I've seen some where it's come down to the final minute.
Exactly.
But they have to do it. They have to do it regardless.
Russo to the middle. Dawson trying to move it forward. Hendry takes it away from him. Plays it to the near side to Fisher, and now it's back up ahead. Carried down by Freund, and he almost gets upended. And as they cross the blue line, they will call offside, and that will bring us to our break. 7:34 remaining when we return.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And so this is head coach Peter Goulet's first time back behind the bench at the Powassan Sportsplex since the unfortunate passing of his mother last Friday. He returned yesterday in the game against Espanola, but this is the first time that he's been back in front of the home crowd, and our condolences go out to head coach Peter Goulet and his entire family.
Yeah, very rough time, of course, for the Goulet household, and I talked to him very briefly. I sent him a text message just letting him know that we were thinking about him. He was very appreciative of the sport, as he is always. You know, he's just a good all-around guy and really easy to deal with, but, you know, compared to some others. But Peter Goulet definitely, for sure, one of the good people in hockey, and, you know, our hearts go out to him, as you mentioned, but I think the best way to get over, or try to start being on the path to mending that, would be a big 2 points here for the Powassan Voodoos.
I tell GM Chris Dawson all the time, you guys lucked out getting Peter Goulet.
100%.
I mean,
like, what a bizarre
what a find.
Set of circumstances, especially at the time. Like,
yeah,
head coaches aren't just sitting on the market in July.
That's right. That's it. And I mean, you know, I wrote about, and you had them on the podcast, Turner and McCarthy, talking about, and both of them kind of knew. Actually, no, it was Turner that knew head coach Peter Goulet, and he actually wanted to come here last year.
Yeah.
But then it just didn't work out. But he got him here this year, and then down at the Chowder Cup, Turner introduced Goulet to McCarthy, and the rest, as they say, is history. But, you know, they talked about wanting to play for Peter Goulet because of his impressive track record, not only in being able to get teams to win their leagues, but also in preparing them for the next level. There's a chance in front, and it's turned aside as Ramirez blocks the shot from Little. But just to finish on that thought, I mean, Peter Goulet has graduated dozens and dozens of players. There's a shot coming in, and they score to make it 3-1. Landon Stevens picked the top shelf, and all of a sudden, the 2-goal advantage is back in favor of the Eagles.
Landon Stevens, third of the season. So lots of guys that haven't scored many goals this year picking up goals in this one, as the Voodoos now find themselves down 3-1 with 6:35 left in the first period. Powassan's been able to kind of bounce back from these goals a few times, but the Eagles were able to stifle them on that one. And just an absolute snipe from Stevens over the blocker side of Dyracolo makes this a 3-1 game.
Yeah, every time that they've scored or have been scored on, they've had a good pushback. But so far, Ramirez has done a great job in net, only allowing the 1 goal. He's made some tricky saves, although he's given up some rebounds, but it hasn't really come back to haunt him yet. Here's a chance now. Thompson coming in, and there's a save. And as we see right there, Ramirez didn't get a clean stop on it. He let it go out into the slot area, but no one there for the Voodoos to gobble up the rebounds. And Ramirez out of Chicago, Illinois, and actually played at Shattuck St. Mary's Prep School, the same prep school that Brady Lyle played for, a North Bay native, before being drafted by the North Bay Battalion.
And some guy named Sidney Crosby, too. I mean, no, he's done nothing in hockey, though. But, yeah, no, with that play as well, you know, just good job at finding Lemke all the way up. And then his passes, he was being double-teamed over to Thompson.
In the first period. And the Soo Eagles have now scored 10 goals over their last 4 periods of play. Here comes another chance, and they score. Lucas Caulfield got behind everybody, picked up the puck, and did not hesitate. He rifles it in over the shoulder of Dyracolo, and it's 4-1 for the Eagles. And this has all the makings of being a long night at the office for the Voodoos.
8th goal of the season for Caulfield, and it seems like if you share that last name, you're going to be a goal scorer no matter where you are. As already Dan Dyracolo getting the hook, and they're bringing in Tyson Wilcox in this one. So Dyracolo just not having it tonight. He also allowed a few goals, as now he lets his frustrations behind the bench as he slams his stick around. And he's talking to assistant coach Josh Hardiman right now, but just not a good night here for Dan Dyracolo, a rare off night for the goaltender.
Over the blue line, tries to dish it across, and that one is blocked. It comes to the line, but no, it's kept in the zone. Russo trying to play it over to Smetham, and then Smetham trying to give it back. Now it's in the far side. And that one goes bouncing past, and the Eagles recover it. Powassan is trapped up, but no call coming there. Russo may have gotten away with one. Olin now into the zone. He gets tied up. Shot from the point, in and out of the glove of Wilcox. And a delay call coming up here again. Extra attacker is out, but the Voodoos send it down the ice. And with 4:58 to go, they're going back in the box. It's Dubroy going in for the hook.
Yeah, the Voodoos, they better watch out here, the referees, as Voodoos fans can turn on the stripes here pretty quickly. That's 3 power plays now for the Eagles to 0 to the Powassan Voodoos. I was just going to make a comment on that play earlier, too. I was thinking in my head, wow, man, the Voodoos have yet to be on the power play, so they aren't technically out of this game yet. They can still get their chances. I mean, it's only 4-1, and as Leafs fans know, 4-1 is not a safe lead.
Out of the zone, down the ice, it's Lemke. 1-on-1, shoots, and he goes off the crossbar. Lemke could not bury it on the breakaway. Now Powassan comes in. There's a chance, digging away at it, and Wilcox kicks it out. Played to the far side. 4 goals on 10 shots for the Eagles in this one. To the left side, back up to the point. Powassan to Fisher, walking in with time. The shot, Wilcox makes the save, but then can't cover it up. A shot from the point, and that one's blocked as well. In behind the net, Powassan leaves it to the near side. That is Belanger. Dishes it off into the corner to Pouliot. Pouliot works his way around and sends it back up to the point. Shot comes in, and that one just missed. Lemke's there, and he dumps it down the ice. Here comes Pratt, bringing it back into the zone. Pratt takes a shot. That goes high. Wilcox may have got a piece of it. It's Fisher at the point now. Into the corner. Hard hit in the corner. It gets moved into the front of the net. Pouliot's there. Tries to center it. That one's picked up by the Voodoos and sent down the ice. 35 seconds to go on the power play with 3:30 remaining in the period. The home side down 4-1. Maybe the best part about that is you still got 40 minutes to play.
Yeah, for sure, and that's one thing I know, that's going to be a silver lining here is you still got a lot of time to come back in this one. But again, if they're not lucky, or if they're not careful, it could very much be a sequel to last night's game against the Espanola Paper Kings in a game in which they lost 9-2.
A nice play there on the far side by Patrick to just muscle that puck out over the blue line. And we're back to 5-on-5, so the Eagles, as we talked about, second worst power play in the league. Here comes Smetham towards the net. The shot save made. Rebound chance just goes wide. Reese Smetham almost cutting the lead in half on that play. And now Little waits, comes over the blue line, takes a shot kicked away by Ramirez. Into the corner, Thompson tries to dish it back around the end boards. That didn't work. Stuck on the half boards. And it's moved to the middle of the zone. Cross to the right side. Shot comes in. Deflected. Rebound chance. And they shoot it just wide. Ramirez had no idea where the puck was. And I think that Thompson may have had more time than he thought to shoot that puck. Turnover. Here comes Pouliot down the right wing side all alone. Pouliot dangles. Wilcox makes the save. That could be a game changer. That could be an absolute game changer right there. Pouliot running in. Untested. But couldn't pass or get the puck past Wilcox on that play. And that keeps the deficit at just 3. And the next one is huge, isn't it?
It's going to be for sure. Either you're down 4 goals, or you're only down 2 if you're Powassan, you have the lead. 4-2 looks a lot more manageable than 4-1.
Over the blue line, Case drops it back onto the stick of Smith. Trying to get the shot, that did not work. And it's Powassan the other way. The team's leading scorer sends it to the middle. That one's turned aside. Now it's Smith over the line. That's Turner there. Turner into the corner and sends it in behind the net. 45 seconds to go now in this period. And it's up ahead to the stick of Powassan. Coming in, the shot, that's blocked. Little behind the net, whips it around to the near side. Up to the line, Fisher with the shot, that's blocked and kicked into the near side corner. Picked up there by Case and sent over to the far side. Little poke check made, and that's going to give Powassan. I was thinking it was giving them an opportunity to go in on the 2-on-1, but it got stuck on the boards in front of the bench, and McMillan just had nowhere to go with it. Another pass up the middle. Pouliot breaks it up. 3 seconds to go, and the first 20 minutes are in the books. The Soo Eagles play a very impressive first period on the road here. And now there's some real hard pushing and shoving going on. And we'll see if anything gets assessed here. Because again, the Voodoos have not been given a power play yet. But it did seem like the Eagles were trying to instigate something at the end there. And so we'll see if anything gets assessed going into the second period as the officials are converging at center ice. So we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll have the second period for you here from the Powassan Sportsplex. It's the Eagles 4, the Voodoos 1. I'm Matt Sukram. He is Courtney Kenny, and you're watching this on the Frontline broadcast presented by Flow Hockey.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Barry! I told you not to be scaring the customers.
Hey, Barry, come on in for a bite. And bring Brianna with you.
For only 2 minutes up the hill, where you're only a stranger once.
Ready to embark on an electrifying adventure? Look no further than the Mitsubishi Outlander, available in gas or PHEV, the SUV that redefines excellence. Recently awarded the best midsize utility vehicle in Canada for 2023 by AJAC. This bold and sophisticated SUV delivers advanced performance, safety, and tech, plus peace of mind with its standard super all-wheel control and the best warranty in the business. With red-hot deals and plenty in stock, your award-winning drive starts with the Mitsubishi Outlander.
The Frontline starts now.
All right, we welcome you back inside the North Bay Echo podcast studio here for more of the Frontline podcast. Pleased to be joined by, in his own words, a man of many hats, Mike Brito, who's here to talk, all things hockey, but mostly we'll talk about some Junior Lakers stuff. And welcome to the program, Mike.
Thanks, Courtney. Excited to be here. I listen to you all the time, so it was a great opportunity to come on.
Yeah, for sure, and we appreciate you listening. And I'm sorry you have to listen to Ben too, but it is what it is.
Well, at least you didn't put him in a corner this week.
No, it's true.
That's true. I'm actually on camera for once.
Which, speaking of, you were just talking about it. Ben used to play for you, so let's roll out the red carpet right now and bring out how good of a hockey player was. I mean, Ben has no problem ripping into players, so let's rip into Ben, like the hockey player.
Well, I remember when we first started, Ben, no offense, Ben, but he wasn't the quickest on the ice, that's for sure.
I remember being pretty quick. I don't know. I was like a little Speedy Gonzalez.
You were pretty quick from standing up to going down.
I'm going to be honest, I don't remember anything from my hockey playing days.
He was a stay-at-home defenseman, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
you don't remember anything, but you were quick to tell me, I played with Brett Hargrave.
I don't think I was quick to tell you that.
Yeah, you were when he got acquired by the battalion.
I might have just said, because I knew, I
played with Brett Hargrave.
I did not say it like that. I just said it like, I know that guy in casual conversation.
No, that's not
exactly
there's no
how
such
it went.
thing as casual conversation with Ben.
It was just a casual. I was like,
do I have to go get a referee jersey here again?
Yes. How long did Ben play for you? Just the 1 year?
I think it was just the one year. Yeah.
Wow.
North Bay.
I thought we were here to talk about the Nipissing Junior Lakers.
No, we're here to talk about your hockey play. Let's look up your hockey DB page here.
I don't have one.
Anyways, Mike, quickly moving on from ripping Ben a new one. Let's talk some Junior Lakers because there's some exciting stuff happening this week. Why don't you explain what's going on to us?
So we have our tournament this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have every rink in North Bay being used.
Wow.
We're actually using Powassan on Friday and Sunday, and Ashtabula on Friday as well. We have over 70 teams in our tournament. 54, 55 of them are from out of town. So there'll be a lot of girls in the city this weekend playing hockey. Also today, Mayor Chirico is declaring Friday, November 3rd as North Bay and District Girls Junior Lakers Day in the city of North Bay. So it's a very exciting day for us as we celebrate our 25th anniversary this year as well.
I was going to say that's got to be pretty exciting when the mayor's kind of getting involved now, right? So, because I don't think I've heard that happening in recent years, anyways.
Yeah. So it's good excitement for the city and for the girls, and we wouldn't have this association as well if it wasn't for all the parent volunteers that we have, all the coaching staff and the room monitors, and also the executive that I'm on as well. All the help on there is greatly appreciated. Without volunteers, we don't have an association.
With this tournament, can you tell me what's the furthest a team is traveling for this?
That I'm not really sure. I know last year we had a team here from Thunder Bay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're getting some good travel for sure.
Yeah. We used to get a lot of teams from the Ottawa area that'll come here because a lot of them, it's their first tournament.
Yep.
But we have some Southern Ontario teams as well.
So to have every rink in North Bay basically be this tournament, that's pretty wild. Like, I mean, that's also got to be quite the feather in the association's cap too.
Yeah. So years ago, we only used North Bay, and again, with the added teams this year going to Powassan and Nashville helps, because if we couldn't have got the ice there, then we would have had to not allow some teams to come up here, right? So as it is, we still have a waiting list. But
wow.
Again, with the help of the other ice services around, we're able to do it bigger. Like, I think our tournament is probably the biggest north of Barrie.
Wow.
So,
well, would you say 74 teams?
74 teams. Yeah.
That's obviously it's not all the same age group, because I was going to say, how do you coordinate that when it gets from round robin to now you're going to this quarterfinal semis? Like, that would just be pull my hair out on that.
Yeah. So the two tournament people, Kara Jeffries and Jessica McLaren, have done an excellent job getting everything ready for the tournament. They're the ones responsible for the schedule and everything as well. So, and what we try to do is have a team play at the same rink, right? To make it a lot easier for them. But obviously, sometimes when we're starting to get this big, it may not happen that way. But we try to make it easier for the people from out of town to maneuver around in the city. So,
I can't imagine trying to coordinate something of this size and this many people and, coming to North Bay for the weekend. So basically what I'm hearing out of this is, boy, we really need that new ice pad, eh?
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Yeah, we don't want to get too political here on the podcast. So, I mean, as political as we'll get is having former Mayor Al McDonald on once and then talking about the proclamation, which is still mind-blowing to me. I got to ask, though, Mike, as the man of many hats, being a public address announcer with Powassan, is this going to affect your job this weekend? Because I think the Voodoos play on Friday, do they not?
No, the Voodoos play Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday.
Night.
I was I don't know why I thought Friday, but
yeah. So I'll be good for Saturday night. I'll be in Powassan still. The other thing too that you mentioned about Friday night is every girl in the tournament. We've offered tickets to the Lakers game Friday night, so the arena will be packed.
Oh,
it's almost sold out.
Wow.
So that'll be good for both teams. I think playing in front of that many fans
for sure.
So,
because I mean, Lakers hockey's good hockey, but they don't seem to get the following until playoff time that they. I mean, that's kind of across the city as well, but we can talk about battalion attendance too. But yeah, it's just kind of that'll be wild for them to watch that game. I wanted to ask too, because it used to be the Ice Bolts, now it's the Junior Lakers. Were you involved much in that partnership, or?
Yeah, actually, the whole executive was. It was something that we've been looking at, and then it came together in the spring. We had to vote on it at our AGM, and it got passed by the members at the AGM. It's a great opportunity, I think, for both, right? Get the Lakers name out there, and also with our partnership with them, the use of facilities up there. And another thing, too, is every player on the women's Lakers team has partnered up with one of our teams. So they're going out to, I think it's at least 2 practices.
Oh, wow.
Right? And they're actually going to be sort of like a mentor for those teams.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's a good partnership that way as well.
With that partnership, and I know that there's been many players that have come through the Ice Bolts that have gone on to play for the Lakers as well. So it just kind of seemed natural, I would imagine.
Yes, and again, you know what? We want to try and keep the youth in the city, right? So that could be is another way, hopefully, to keep some of our female hockey players here to play, hopefully for Nipissing.
Was it kind of sad though to see the Ice Bolts name go after so many years, or?
Yeah, I'll be honest. At first, I sort of juggled with the decision, but then I looked at the pros of it as well. So, and actually on our new jerseys, we've paid, I guess, tribute to the Ice Bolts and the association for the last 25 years. So on both shoulders, there is a ice bolt with a little circle around the ice bolts, incorporating like the very first logo of the North Bay and District Girls Hockey Association.
Oh, perfect. You mentioned 25 years, and because I was going to say, I remember when I played hockey, wouldn't have been 25 years ago, would have been a lot more recent. I was a lot worse than Ben Sargent, though, I'll have you know.
Probably.
Wow.
I was pretty flipping good.
Apparently not there, Wayne.
Wait, who's his brother that scored like nothing?
Brent,
yeah, that's me.
I think you got one or two there, Ben.
Heck yeah, I did.
Watch out. This guy almost swore earlier.
Yeah, I'm a bad apple. Watch out.
I'm a bad mitten.
Why is Northern Honda servicing more cars of all makes and models? Let's count the ways. 1. Our state-of-the-art facility has award-winning technicians. 2. Northern Honda has the lowest tire price guarantee, no matter what you drive. 3. The lowest synthetic oil change guarantee, and every 5th oil change is free for all makes and models. Plus, new Honda buyers get brake pads for life. See the service difference at Northern Honda, 1250 Seymour beside Home Depot.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex for period number 2 between the Powassan Voodoos and the Soo Eagles. The Soo Eagles currently hold a 4-1 lead. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Matthew Sukram, and a little bit of a development here for the Voodoos. Daniel DeRoccolo is back in net, and also Gabriel Fisher is in the box for 2 minutes or less for the Eagles for roughing. So the Voodoos will get their first power play of the game here to start the second period, Matt.
And we thought that there might be something happening at the end of that period because of how rough things got in the boards right below our broadcast booth here. So with that all cleared up, the Powassan Voodoos get their 6th ranked power play out on the ice. They are 17 for 75. They have given up 3 shorthanded goals against, whereas the Soo Eagles have the 6th ranked penalty kill. That's what I said at the beginning of this game. These two teams really are evenly matched despite where they stand respectively within their own divisions. That one's cleared out. Down the ice, it is chased by Stevens, who has a goal already tonight. And the Eagles just trying to waste some time there, but now it's picked up and carried down the ice by Smith. Smith going right in, takes a shot, and it bounces to the far side. Picked up behind the net, tried to center it, but I don't think Ryan Patrick saw that pass come out in front.
Under a minute now left in the power play. 50 seconds to be exact.
Powassan in the neutral zone, moves it up ahead to Patrick. Patrick over the blue line, lost control, and it's sent down the ice. Chasing it is Lemke. Lemke overskates the puck. They will recover it. And there's a pass up ahead. That's Shields. Sends it to the right side to Case. Off the boards on the far side, now in behind the net. Picked up into the corner. Sets it up to Case to the middle of the zone. Lemke walking in. Takes the shot and Ramirez makes the save and then throws the helmet off. I guess the shot initially got him in the face mask as he looks a little shaken up there.
Yeah, the Voodoos not able to get much going on that power play so far. 16 seconds remain, but you know what they were able to get something going on was their community impact here this past Halloween, as the Voodoos were busy Halloween night as the team assembled at the Powassan Fire Hall and handed out more than 600 bags of candy. And man, that's a lot of candy for the Powassan Voodoos to hand out here to the community of Powassan. But that's one thing that the Voodoos do a lot of, is a lot of community engagement, and they really embrace this town that they live in for the winter months, and it's good to see. And of course, you know, I wouldn't mind a couple of bags of that candy either.
Go check the coach's office maybe after and see if they've got any stash there.
Might have to.
They lose the puck at the line. Case with one more rush into the zone on the man advantage. Sends it around to the far side. We're back to 5-on-5. Voodoos player tripped up on that far side, but no extra call there. And that'll be a high stick as Lemke touches it as the play gets blown down. So 17:47 to go in the second period. The Voodoos trail 4-1.
Yeah, Powassan again looking to get something going here as the Soo Eagles played a really good first period. As mentioned, Daniel DeRoccolo was pulled in that first period. He's back in net now for the Voodoos. And we'll have to see if he's able to get a bit of a clear his head a little bit and gain some confidence here in the second period, as he is yet to really be tested.
He played the first 14 minutes and 18 seconds of the first period. Gave up 4 goals on 10 shots. Shot coming in, and that one's blocked. Caulfield sends it in, and it is saved by DeRoccolo. And remember, there was a save that Wilcox made near the end of the period on Pouliot on a one-on-one play, and Pouliot, he did deke him out, but then Wilcox recovered in time.
Yeah.
And then he made the initial save. Then the puck was kind of trickling under him, and then it got cleared away from the blue paint. So had that puck gone in, it's a completely different game. But like we said, this is, you know, the next goal is a big one in this contest. 2-goal deficit with 2 periods to play isn't as daunting. Going in, the shot, they score! And there you go. They erase the 3-goal deficit, and they're halfway home. It's 4-2, with the goal being scored by Wraith Smith.
What a highlight reel goal by Ray Smith, able to get it between the legs of the Eagles defender for it, and then get it past Ramirez for his 9th of the season. And you know what? This 16-year-old battalion prospect has 19 points in 19 games played, and his 9th goal of the year ties him with Matthew McMillan for the team lead in goals. Not bad when you're 16 years old and playing your first level or year of junior A hockey.
And now Smetham chases it into the corner, and that is exactly the start the Voodoos were hoping for. It's only 3 minutes in, but that's what you have to hope for if you're down by 3 goals. You got to get one here in the first 5 minutes, and now you can kind of, you're not relaxed, but you're going, okay, we can beat this guy. We've scored a couple. Let's just play our game now. Case makes a move, sending it in, and it's gloved down by Ramirez. And that's the funniest thing about this game is, again, all 4 goalies in this game played last night as well. And so there's no one that's really that fresh going into today's game. And both these teams played in high-scoring games last night. Both of them on the road. So
I believe, too, also on that goal, they announced Alex Little as the assist, so that would tie him.
And there's a shot, and they score! It's a one-goal game. Cameron Lemke rifles it from the far side circle. And all of a sudden, it's 4-3.
Cameron Lemke with his 5th of the season, and he looks a lot more like the Cameron Lemke of old as we get going. He's very active offensively. He's looking very engaged this season, and that's good news for Voodoos, the Voodoos and Voodoos fans everywhere, as Cameron Lemke can be a very imposing threat offensively, and he's just one of the better players here on the offensive side of things in the NOJHL. As you mentioned, that's one of the best starts that the Voodoos could hope for, with the Wraith Smith goal, and less than a minute later, Cameron Lemke, and now it's 4-3. And we talked about how 4-2 would look a lot better than 4-1. 4-3 looks even better than 4-2.
2 goals, 4 minutes into the period, and all of a sudden we got a brand new hockey game.
Absolutely.
And again, Lemke, remember, he got stopped on a breakaway chance in the first period. He wrung it off the crossbar, and I believe it was 3-1 at that point when he missed that one. So that one must feel like some real nice vindication there from Lemke after the earlier miscue. And again, I keep going back, the save by Wilcox in the late stages of that first period, that might be our above average, or our average Joe's above average moment of the game.
Absolutely. What a great save by Wilcox to keep his team in it when he came in unexpectedly in the first period. And also, just to finish my previous thought, Alex Little, I believe, credited with an assist on the Smith goal, and that would give him a tie with Cameron Moore for all-time lead as defenseman points.
Shields and Smetham with the assists on that Lemke goal. Rotundo to Ricci. And it's sent down the ice. No icing here. Fox is the first one to it. Whips it around the boards, and there won't be an icing on this play either. A lot of active sticks in the neutral zone making contact with the puck. Although the puck's not changing direction or anything, so don't really know how active those sticks are, but Ricci up to Smetham. Can't move it forward, and now, there was a beautiful poke check to send the puck the other way. Patrick firing it in, and that's a glove save made. I think that was Case on that poke check. There were 2 Soo Eagles in the area, and they were about to turn on the Jets and go into the offensive zone, but Case just turned around, poked it, and that gave Patrick that shot opportunity there.
As we mentioned earlier, Case has been found money for the Powassan Voodoos in 15 games this year coming into tonight. 10 points on the year. So, I mean, when it comes to the Lakers, and him not making the Lakers, it's their loss. The Voodoos gain for sure. And he's absolutely gamed out here for Powassan and really helped keep the defense together while Alex Little was injured.
Sent around to the near side. Shot in, and it's stopped by Ramirez. So is Case taking courses at Nipissing?
I believe so,
okay.
Yes. I believe he is.
Well, good for him. I think this is more challenging, actually, to play junior A hockey while you're going to university and not playing for the university team.
And Alex Little did pick up the primary assist on the Wraith Smith goal. So move over Cameron Moore. You have company at the top of the defensive points getting for the Powassan Voodoos.
92 career points as a Powassan Voodoo for both Moore and Little. Caulfield up to Freund. Freund lost it down the left side, but the puck stays inside the attacking zone for the Eagles, and now the shot goes in towards the net, and it's stopped by DiRoccolo.
Alex Little, what a great career here for the Powassan Voodoos in general. We talked about it. He was the engine on the back end last year, really drove offense for the Voodoos and did a heck of a job last season. And, we're talking about a player who lost a really good year of hockey because of COVID, and he's been able to continue on and continue being a great presence in this league. And for North Bay hockey fans, you have arguably the best offensive defenseman in the OHL and arguably the best offensive defenseman in the NOJHL right in your backyard in Powassan. He's we're a little bit spoiled right now.
Especially after North Bay fans watched a different kind of defense for 8 years.
Yeah, well, we don't like to talk about the dark days.
Play in the far side corner. Shields behind the net. Sends it around to the near side. Lemke pushes it up the boards, and it's Smetham going in. Smetham one-on-one. Tries to make his move around, driving to the net, but gets kept to the outside. A really good play there by Fisher of the Eagles to not even let Smetham get a shot. Now it's sent to the near side. Shot coming in. What a save by Ramirez. Throwing up the glove and robbing Shields there. And now an opportunity, and that puck took a weird bounce, not allowing McClellan to get a clean clear. Now it goes down towards Ramirez, and he makes a save. Some anxious moments in the Eagles zone in the last couple of minutes.
Coming into tonight as well, we talk about the points from the back end for Alex Little. He's put up 92 points in 110 games played coming into tonight. Or, well, after that, now it's 111 games, so another quick shot.
There's a shot, and Ramirez makes a save. And like you said, a season of his junior career lost due to COVID, and that is just what impresses me so much about Alex Little's career here with the Powassan Voodoos. And he also has had twice an opportunity to go and play at some Division 2 and Division 3 schools down in the United States, and decided this was going to be a better fit for him for his hockey career, and he has not wasted it. Now there's a 2-on-1. The Eagles try not to waste this one, but it's a save made by DeRoccolo, and a rebound chance coming in, but that gets blocked by Russo in front of the net. Puck being held against the boards. It comes loose, and it's cleared down the ice, and it is being chased by Dawson. Caleb Dawson with a goal tonight. Caleb Dawson brings it out, takes a shot from the sharp angle. That gets blocked, and now a chance behind the net, but Smetham is pushed away. That was Owen Smetham on that one. Puck at the line, backhanded back in. Owen Smetham from a sharp angle, and it's turned aside with the stick of Ramirez. Smetham again in the corner. Plays it to the half boards. There's Dawson, the shot, and it's deflected wide. Picked up on the near side boards. They can't clear. Case is there. Case sends it in front, deflected just wide against Smetham on the doorstep. It's sent around the end boards. Picked up by the Eagles. It's Fox. And he sends it in. McCarthy bringing it out. Tried to feed it over to Little. Little miscommunication there. And that allows Poweski to dump it in behind the net. It is Case for the Voodoos trying to clear it. That got blocked, and now there's a chance in front of the net, but too many bodies and too many active sticks in the area for the Eagles to get any good shot off. Now it's at the point. Pratt comes in, deflected, and the save is made. And the Voodoos will bring it up. No, it's being called for a high stick, and the faceoff will come back into the Voodoos zone. 11:15 to play in the second period, and it's a 4-3 Eagles lead. But the Voodoos, with the 2 goals early on in this period, to make this game much more manageable.
Much more manageable indeed for the Powassan Voodoos. And Cameron Moore, you know, a championship-winning defenseman with the Powassan Voodoos. We talk about Alex Little, 111 games. As a quick shot comes in. Cameron Moore put up his 92 points in 149 games. Even though, you know, he has the hardware to go home and say, hey, I won a championship so far, Alex Little's still looking for that. But, I mean, what's been impressive is to put up 92 points in 111 games. Not to take away from Cameron Moore.
The margin of error is a lot thinner for Alex Little. He has little room for error.
Oh, okay. As soon as you started laughing, I was like, oh, no.
It's been a while since you and I had done a game.
Yeah, it's been a really long time.
Yeah.
It's been like since the playoffs last year for the North Bay Battalion.
I think so.
Second round. Because, well, we didn't want Ben Sargent to do games.
That's right.
Speaking of birthdays, he's not here tonight, but happy birthday, Ben Long. Usually around here doing producing for us in color on the Voodoos games, so he's taking a deserved night off.
I'm surprised he didn't just come here and have some popcorn just for the hell of it.
Yeah, he's a big popcorn
Some birthday
fiend.
popcorn, and then say, okay, see you later. I'm going I'm going to do birthday stuff.
Yeah. He's shocked he's not down there making fun of Harrison down in the corner.
That's right.
That's one of his favorite things to do.
10:46 to play in the second period. 4-3 the score. Well, if you're enjoying the broadcast and if you're enjoying listening along, we would appreciate if you liked, shared, and subscribed everything on the Frontline podcast. You can find us on Spreaker. We're on Spotify and Apple Play as well. So it's called Apple Podcast, excuse me. Feels like they've changed their name so many times, but you can find us there.
Get with the times, boomer.
Yeah, I know, right? You can also visit us on patreon.com/Frontline Podcast. Throw a few dollars our way. It really does make it a lot easier to bring you these broadcasts, and we enjoy doing them, and we hope you enjoy listening and following along all season. We've got a couple of our friends at Memorial Gardens tonight, Andrew White and Derek Lindemann, calling the Nipissing Lakers women's hockey game. They had a big 3-0 win over the Ridgebacks last night.
Yeah, they've been off to a good start too, eh?
They really have, yeah. It's a new era without Maria Domenico there.
I was just going to say, you have to find your new identity.
McClellan with the shot. Save made. Rebound is right on the doorstep. And somehow it stays out. Play on the near side. Freund sends it in. And Freund gets upended. But it looked like Smetham took the worst of that hit. I don't even think Smetham realized he was there.
I thought it was Lemke that leveled most of the hit, and Smetham was just kind of unexpectedly part of the carnage.
Little over to Case. Flips it up into the neutral zone, and it's picked up by Dawson. Going in, Dawson, shot, save made. Big kick save off the right pad by Ramirez.
Voodoos are playing a much more sound defensive game here in the second period too. That intermission really gave them time to kind of reset and everything. And also Duracolo, he hasn't been tested a lot, but he's looking a lot more square to the shooter here in the second period.
There's a shot turned aside. Yeah, the Eagles with just 5 shots in this period. The Voodoos have 10, and they've scored twice.
Twice in quick succession, too, for the Voodoos.
Olin coming in, plays it to the right side, and that's going to be offside. But you've noticed, well, you'll notice it after our break. It's 8:42 remaining. When we come back, it's 4-3 for the Eagles.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex as Ben Long's favorite song plays. So maybe it's a good thing he's not here for his birthday, as it's Sweet Caroline playing here at the Sportsplex. He's not a big fan of Neil Diamond, I guess, but I mean, that's where he's wrong. But hey, anyways, happy birthday, Ben, wherever you are. Also, it's not his birthday, but we do like to keep it going. Happy birthday, Mike Brown, as well. It was his birthday about a month ago at the NOJHL Showcase. Our wonderful camera operator, and of course Harrison from the Garrison, who's down at ice level getting all the beautiful videos you can find on our Instagram, TikTok, basically anywhere you can find us on social media. Harrison has his presence and his fingerprints all over, and he's been doing a great job here at Powassan Voodoos games, capturing some ice level stuff here and making the Voodoos the stars that they ought to be.
And you can also follow Harrison along, Harrison from the Garrison. He does game recaps on there, and he's a really fun follow.
He is.
Hey, he's got a great social media presence.
Yeah, he makes us really feel old. He knows what he's doing social
media
wise.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, we're like, yes, put things out there, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, trending. Playback underway. Hard hit on the far side. Little colliding with it looked like Russell, and that's going to allow Little to get room down the left wing side, but he's turned aside as the puck is sent out of the zone. Batted back the other way. It's corralled by the Eagles. That's Belanger trying to fire that one forward, but that gets blocked. Belanger with a goal already tonight as well. Bringing it to the near side. McCarthy finds it. It's knocked away from McCarthy, but Turner's on the far side trying to get control of it. He gets knocked down. Puck goes around behind the net. Trying to get it back there was Patrick. It's just out of his reach, and it will be Fox moving it out of the zone down the ice. Dishes it off to the right side at the point. The shot is blocked, and the Voodoos will move it out of the zone. Little across to the near side. It's Turner. Turner with a shot turned away by Ramirez. Play at the line, and the puck has not cleared. Now it does, but staying hard on the forecheck and staying high on the forecheck is Turner to make sure the Eagles will need to do better than that to clear the puck. Now on the far side, Powassan does get it out, but is controlled by Case. Over to the near side is Rotundo. Over the blue line, drops it to McMillan. McMillan tried to set it up in front, it just went wide. Now on the far side, the shot comes in. In front, another chance, and that one is blocked as well as the defense of the Eagles continues to collapse around the front of the net. Freund is able to clear it, but Ricci fires it right back in, and Ramirez had to make a save there. 6:55 to play as they send it down the ice. Caulfield in, but it's a save made by Duracolo.
Credit where credit's due. There's going to be a couple of bruises on the legs of some of Soo Eagles player after this game. That shift was great defensive work by that team by keeping the puck out, while any shot that the Voodoos got on net basically was stopped by the defenders or the forwards, never making their way to Ramirez in a period in which Ramirez has already been under fire quite a bit. 27 shots in the game now against for the Voodoos compared to 19. But again, the Eagles blocking everything almost as if it's a playoff game, and Game 7 and their hockey careers depend on it.
That's what I was going to mention. After the Voodoos got the 2 quick goals, there's a chance down the ice, putting it in front of the net. They can't finish it. The extra opportunity gets turned away. Dubois turns it over. Here comes Hendry, and Dubois sets him down. Ever since the Voodoos got those 2 goals, the Eagles have really done a good job. I mean, they're still giving up a lot of shots, but outside of that last couple of minutes there really wasn't much for the Voodoos to work with. They were clearing stuff out and not letting them get set up in good positions in the offensive zone. 4-3 lead for the Eagles. 5:45 to play in the second period. The Eagles jumped out to a 4-1 lead. The Voodoos have clawed their way back. Dawson going in. Ramirez sends it the other way. And that's Stevens. Dropping back. Trying to set it forward. Case turns it over, and here's an opportunity. Up ahead, the shot just misses. Owen Smetham was that close to tying this game, and then the shot from Case is blocked as well.
I think Smetham hit the crossbar on that one. What a great chance there by the Powassan Voodoos to try and tie it. Owen Smetham too, the younger brother of Reese Smetham. He hasn't been, putting up the points as much as, his brother has. Of course, that comes with being a rookie. He's put up 4 points so far in 16 games played, but he's looked real good for the Powassan Voodoos, scoring 3 goals on the year so far.
Offside is the call there. Yeah, I mean, the goals will come for this kid. He's too talented.
He finds himself in the right spots a lot of the time. He scored some really good-looking goals, too, for the Voodoos, and his lone assist came on a highlight reel assist from behind the net. He was able to pass the puck out while falling to the ice. Owen Smetham, very impressive so far in his young Junior A career.
He spent last year with the Carleton Place Junior Canadians in the EOJHL, put up 45 points in 41 games. 16 of those were goals.
He's got speed to burn, too. That's something about this Powassan team compared to last year. They got guys like Dubois and Smetham who really do have speed. Last year, the Voodoos felt a little bit too slow. This year, they got speed and spades.
Down the left wing side. There's a shot on net. Ramirez makes the save, and then Chase Thompson took a hard hit at the end of that play. And the Eagles on the counterattack. They got into the slot, but the puck got tied up in amongst the skates. Now it's Pratt with the shot. Redirected towards DeRoccolo. And he makes the save.
That redirection came off the skate of Darby McCarthy in front, trying to block the shot. And one thing I was just thinking of, one of the Voodoos players that kind of sorely missed, he came back for a whole 6 games this year after spending some time with the Ottawa 67s. Now he's with the Gatineau Olympics of the QMJHLs. Michael McLean, big defenseman, but man, was he offensively gifted this year. I know it's 6 games, he had 3 points, but it just felt like every time he was on the ice, he was a threat to make something happen on the ice for Powassan.
Absolutely. But that's the hope for these players, right? You want to see them succeed here in Powassan, but if they get a chance to go to the major junior level, you wish them nothing but success. Missed the poke check there. Pratt with the shot, but that gets blocked. Sent around on the far side. Thompson with a little poke check to move it into the neutral zone. It's back into the Voodoos end. And Ricci is able to push it out. Turned aside, and now McClellan has it. Check that, McMillan has it. Rotundo shovels it over the blue line. Delayed offside, and that allows the Eagles to get it out. Fortson coming in, drops it back to Belanger, and Belanger sends it wide. Into the far side corner. Poweski's there. An assist already tonight for Poweski. He had 4 points in last night's game. Couple of poke checks made. The puck stays in the zone with 2:25 to play. At the line, Caulfield sends it in. Save made. Rebound. Can't get a good shot off it, so they try to dig at it on the far side. They bring it around to the near side point. Russell shot. It's stopped by DeRoccolo.
And just to kind of finish off my thoughts on Michael McLean, got to meet his father here. He came up to me after a game in which Ben Sargent and Ben Long did the game, and he asked me, who's the main broadcaster here? And I first thought was, why? What did they say wrong? But he ended up introducing himself as Mike McLean's dad, and really appreciative of the die-hard references that I would make whenever he'd score a goal. And his name, I kid you not, really threw me for a loop. He says, "Hi, my name's Ron McLean." And I was like, excuse me? What is happening right now? Very nice family.
There is a CBC crossover there. Ron meets John McLean.
Oh, man, that'd be quite, well, unfortunately, what's going on with Bruce Willis couldn't happen, but
yeah,
that would be quite the awkward interaction where he maybe has to save Ron McLean from, the Sportsnet buildings under attack or something. I don't know. We're reaching. This is why we're not in Hollywood. Yippee-ki-yay.
There you go. Way on the near side. Up to line. Russell gets another shot through. DeRoccolo kicks it away. But the Voodoos turn it over. A chance in front of the net. And it's lifted up and over the glass and out of play. 1:28 to go. Boy, this period started fast and furious, and it's really... This is where the chess matchup comes into play between the coaches, right? All of a sudden, if you're the Soo Eagles, okay, you lose the 3-goal advantage, but hey, you're still ahead by 1. Whereas you're the Voodoos, you clawed back, you're only down by a goal, but you're still down by a goal.
Yeah, and I know that the clock doesn't play as big a factor here in the second period as it does in the third, but if you're the Eagles, time is still on your side.
Voodoos break out of the zone. There's a chip pass ahead. Ricci racing into the corner. Tries to play it off the boards. Voodoos end up with the puck. Smetham with a shot. Save made. Rebound comes to the near side, and it's Shields on it. Shields down the board. Shields comes out in front. He gets tripped as he takes the shot, and that's going to be a penalty coming up.
I mean, that had to be a call, right? At that point, you took away a scoring opportunity for the Voodoos with Shields in the slot. And again, Tucker Shields, one of the best goal scorers on this team. He has 7 goals. The team lead is 9, and he's technically in sole possession of second place as both Matthew McMillan and Ray Smith are tied with 9. Actually, Chase Thompson has 8 goals. My bad, but any of those guys you want in the slot uncontested, and Tucker Shields definitely one of the dangerous Voodoos players.
Second power play opportunity of the game for the Powassan Voodoos.
Shooting on in number 26, Landon Stevens. 2 minutes for hooking at 19:04. Stevens hooking at 19:04.
Chance there shorthanded by the Eagles as, the Voodoos have blown a tire at the blue line. Not really good if you're on the power play to blow a tire in your own zone.
And then they turn it over trying to clear it. Powassan there for the Eagles. One of the Voodoos players, that's Lemke. His stick broke. He's got to get some new lumber. And now it's up to Shields bringing it over. But they're going to call offside. 12.7 seconds remaining in the period. 4-3 lead for the Eagles.
And that's something in the first power play that we saw. The Voodoos didn't really have many chances. They were able to turn it into momentum later or shortly after with some 2 quick goals. But again, the Voodoos not getting many chances here on this power play as they've been their own worst enemy in their own zone so far.
Smith tried to win it back, but it's the Eagles who get the opportunity, and it's blocked by Duracolo. Big save there with 3 seconds to go in the period. Smith racing down the right side, puts it on net as the buzzer goes. A great bounce back period by the Powassan Voodoos, and now with 20 minutes left on the clock, they trail by just a goal. It's 4-3 for the Eagles as we head into the third period. I'm Matthew Sucrum. He's Courtney Kenny. You're watching on Flow Hockey, and this broadcast is presented by the Frontline. Stay tuned. More coming up.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today. Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Barry! I told you not to be scaring the customers.
Hey, Barry, come on in for a bite. And bring Brianna with you.
For only 2 minutes up the hill, where you're only a stranger once.
Ready to embark on an electrifying adventure? Look no further than the Mitsubishi Outlander, available in gas or PHEV, the SUV that redefines excellence. Recently awarded the best midsize utility vehicle in Canada for 2023 by AJAC. This bold and sophisticated SUV delivers advanced performance, safety, and tech, plus peace of mind with its standard super all-wheel control and the best warranty in the business. With red-hot deals and plenty in stock, your award-winning drive starts with the Mitsubishi Outlander.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex as the Powassan Voodoos get set to take the ice here for the third and maybe final. We don't know how it's going to go, to be honest with you. It's a 4-3 hockey game as the third period is about to get going here. I'm Courtney Kenny, here from the Powassan Sportsplex, and we are pleased to be bringing you a very fun hockey game so far, Matt.
It's been a good one. We thought, maybe about halfway through that first period that this was going to be one-sided, but it's been anything but, as both these teams have showed why they are where they are in this league. They can score, they can play defense. Probably the coaches would like to see a little more defense from both sides. However, it's a one-goal game with 20 minutes on the clock, and it really can go either way at this point. I think for the Powassan Voodoos, they really want to get one here on the power play to begin this period.
And they can do so as they are on the power play, as I said. Quickly, we'll take a look around the league. Starting the third period, Kirkland Lake leads Timmins 2-1. At the start of the third period, Iroquois Falls and Greater Sudbury are tied at 1 apiece. And in Espanola, they lead the French River Rapids halfway through that game 2-1. And that's your out-of-town scoreboard at this point in time. We'll take a look at it again when the season or when the game is over, or when the third period is over. Maybe the game's not over at that point, but we're having some delays here due to some ice issues at the Sportsplex.
Now, it's been a while since I've done a game. When do we recap the players of the game?
That's a good question, which we can do at the next whistle,
okay.
for sure.
20 minutes.
I forgot how to hockey.
20 minutes remaining in regulation. And the Voodoos begin with a long dump in by Little. In the far side boards, it's pushed away and sent down the ice. Little, the first one to it, plays it off the boards, it's turned over. Chance at the side of the net, and the shot is stopped by Duracolo. So little miscommunication there out of the gates by the Voodoos, and some unfriendly hometown bounces not going their way.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
And we'll check in on that in just a minute as Alex Little sends it down the ice. Alex Little was one of our players to watch. He's our player to watch on the Voodoos side. He's got an assist tonight. And with that assist, he ties the franchise record for career points by a defenseman. And on the other side, it's Powassan, who we were looking at. And Powassan's out on the ice right now as he's now dropped back to the blue line. Powassan has a assist tonight as well. So both of our players to watch getting on the scoreboard. We're back to 5-on-5 play now, so the Soo Eagles doing a really good job out of the gate on the penalty kill, not giving the Voodoos much opportunity. But now here's one. Here comes Smith down the ice on the breakaway. Dangles scores! This game is tied. Smith buries it on the breakaway. 4 for the score.
Great Smith picking up his second of the game. That gives him sole possession of first place for the Powassan Voodoos on their goal scoring total, as that's his 10th of the season. And again, we talk about this young lad. It's a battalion prospect as well. You got to think general manager of the battalion, Adam Dennis, has been happy with his development down here in Powassan. He did play some preseason games with the battalion as well, and he's looked every bit the part, as he is definitely taking his game to a new level here at the junior A level.
And head coach Doug LaPrade is not happy with his team right now. A 3-goal lead has evaporated, and there's a shot, and it's turned away. They led 2-1. They led 4-1. And now we're all even at 4 apiece. And you could see that the Eagles got off their game plan there. They had not allowed the Voodoos to make those stretch passes in behind the defense since that third goal. But they did it there. I think they just got a little overconfident in how easily they killed that penalty, and thought, okay, now time to go back on the attack and try to push the issue. Whereas I think at this point, if you're the Eagles, there's a shot off the side of the net, and it's turned away and it's sent down the ice.
Carson Ricci picking up the assist on that one, and just back on Ray Smith. He was drafted in the 5th round by the battalion, 100th overall, right on the button. So, I mean, if you're the battalion right now, where your team is kind of sputtering a little bit, you're looking for that next wave. Ray Smith, you know, a 5th round pick could be quite the steal of the 2023 OHL priority selection, Matt.
At last check, it's 2-2 as the battalion and the Ice Dogs are about to begin the third period down in St. Catharines.
He's definitely going to see time with the battalion this year for sure.
There's a chance in front of the net. That one's turned aside. It goes to the far side boards, and coming out with it is McCarthy. McCarthy gets hauled down going to the net. That's going to be a penalty coming up for the Eagles. Play on the half boards on the far side. Down the point. It's off the skates of McClellan, and it's chased out of the zone. Dubroy brings it forward, and the poke check is made. And that will blow the play down. 17:07 remaining in the third. It's 4-4, and the Voodoos have an opportunity here to go ahead on this power play.
Yeah, the Voodoos power play hasn't looked all that impressive here this evening. But that being said, you know, now could be a good time for that to turn around, and the battalion to start, or the Voodoos rather, start putting together some good man advantage moments here on the specialty teams. Now in a tied game, 4-4, just under 3 minutes gone here in this third period. Feels like all momentum's on Team Green.
And like we said, when they got that first one in the second period, that made it 4-2. It's kind of like the pressure was off at that point. You just play your game, just take care of your defensive responsibilities, and look for the opportunities. And the Eagles gave them some. And they've given them another opportunity here. An early goal, again within the first 3 minutes of the period, and now a power play opportunity as well. But man, this Eagles team, when they're on their game, they are so tough just to get the puck by. They come up high on the forecheck. They don't allow you much room in the neutral zone. But now the Voodoos have a chance as they push in. Ricci with the shot, save made. Loose puck in front, and they can't bury it. Belanger picks it up. Belanger sends it up ahead. He had Tyler Fortson wide open, but couldn't connect. 16 minutes to play in the third. Less than a minute to go on the power play. Case. Case almost gave the puck away behind his own net, but now Turner goes in on the left wing side. Turner going in behind the net, sends it to the right side boards, tries to pass it across the blue line, but it rolled off the stick of Shields. Voodoos coming back in on the attack. Power play winding down. There's a hard hit on the far side. and that's going to be another penalty. This time it's Fisher that's going to go to the box for the Eagles. Extra attacker out there. 6-on-4 right now. Shot coming in. Save made. The penalty has expired now. So it will be another 5-on-4 unless the Voodoos score here. But the puck is touched by Russell. And the Voodoos going right back on the power play.
Well, for Powassan, again, that power play didn't look all too shabby, or I mean, all that great, I should say. However, that was probably their best looking power play of the year. And you know what? You just got repetitions on it. They're going to go right back out and get more repetitions on it because it's that much, it's happening back to back like that with the penalty being delayed right from the first, or while the first one was still being served. So we'll have to see if Powassan's any stronger here on the power play now.
Smith. Pass across into the slot. The puck goes up high off the shot. Voodoos control it. Coming down. It's Smith over skating the puck, but keeping it alive at the blue line. Dishes it off behind the net. Puck's into the right side boards. Now to the point. Across the left side. Smith is there. Takes his time and then fires it. And it goes up high over the glass and out of play. 14:34 remaining in the third period. 4-4 tie.
Well, you definitely think if you're going to be the Powassan Voodoos here, the man you want with the puck on his stick and the trigger man on the power play is going to be Wraith Smith. He's got 2 goals here in this game and getting up to number 10 on the season. He's been hot as of late for the Voodoos as well. So if I'm the guys in green, I'm just feeding 25 for the puck right now on the power play.
Voodoos win the draw. Smith doesn't take the shot. Passes it to the half boards. It gets kicked around on the end boards, and now it's back to the left side. Now Smith at the point. Back to the left side. That is Patrick there. Patrick at the line. Takes a shot deflected, and a quick save made by Ramirez. That's just instinct there by Ramirez. I don't think he actually saw that. Play on the far side now. McMillan can't hold it there. Sent down the ice, bouncing puck batted away by DeRoccolo. Still just over a minute remaining on this power play for the Voodoos. Down the ice, Smith with speed, going right to the net. Save made, rebound chance in front, and that one's turned away. And now the Voodoos turn it over. 1-on-1 with Powassan going down the ice. Powassan tried to drag it to the slot, but he's turned aside by Shields. Time winding down now on this power play for the Voodoos. Their second consecutive here. Case coming in, taking the shot, save made, loose puck on the doorstep, wraparound chance, and it's still loose. And sent down the ice. Actually, this is 3 straight. The Voodoos started this period on the power play. And they've been given 2 more. And there's a hard hit in the corner. And that's got to be another one. No, it's not.
Case was in a really vulnerable position on that hit, too.
Schweitzer coming in. He gets turned aside. We're back to 5-on-5 play here now. The Voodoos not able to convert. 0 for 3 in this period alone. There's a shot coming in, and the save is made by DeRoccolo, and he gloves it down. Again, 0 for 3 on the power play in this period, but they did get the goal early on at 1:26.
Lots of Voodoos fans giving it to the referees here after that hit on Case. Again, penalty or no penalty, Case was in a vulnerable position when he took that hit. And these boards here do not have much given them, and you could hear it all the way up here, the connection with the boards. But as you were saying, it's 3 straight power plays for the Voodoos, and as soon as you said that, I was thinking in my head, well, you know what's going to come next. The Eagles are going to get a power play at some point.
Or they're not going to get called.
Yeah, they'll put the whistles away.
Yeah. I mean, a play like that, you'd think Wes McCauley was on the ice.
Have you heard Steve Dangle's rant? It's really
Metham
good.
coming in. Oh, I've got thoughts on that. And that one's caught. Steve Dangle, he was
a little hot.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Remember in the playoffs last year when they showed the statistics of how many, when Wes McCauley calls a Maple Leaf game, how slanted the power plays for and against are? in those games, and
you're not wrong.
Like, it is wild that people like that are still allowed to officiate
at least
in games like that.
Well, he made a good point. At least in Major League Baseball, they said to Angel Hernandez, "You're not getting World Series games."
Yeah,
I mean, he's still employed, but
yeah.
In the NHL, they gave Wes McCauley NHL or Stanley Cup final games all the time.
Exactly.
His rant on his podcast is great, and then his rant on his Leafer is even better.
There's a backhanded shot towards the net, and that one's turned aside. Down the point, it's out of the reach of Smetham, and it will be an icing call. 11:33 to go, and the Voodoos are pressing here. They are looking to try and take the lead. They really have to be aware, though, of those quick breakouts by the Eagles.
Just to finish a real quick point about Wes McCauley, even on his LFR video, he had a retirement cake for Wes McCauley that he got from the grocery store that said he's trying to speak it into existence.
There's a shot on net, save made, rebound in front, and it is turned aside.
What a save by Ramirez on that sequence. 3 of them.
Case at the line, in behind the net. Voodoos still in control here. Played back behind the net. Carrying it down, McCarthy. McCarthy up to the blue line. Plays it to the half boards. That's Turner. Plays it in front, and then it's sent down the ice.
Interesting combination out there. Is now we get some.
I think there's too many men on the ice.
I think so,
They had
too.
Hendry all the way down here, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in front of the net, and 2 guys back here. That's 7 players.
I don't think they're getting penalized for it, though. As I was going to say, though, interesting little bit of a combination there for the Powassan Voodoos. I guess you could call this the Stars and Stripes line.
That's right.
That was out there because Ryan Patrick's from Pittsburgh, Zach Turner from Eagle, Colorado. They're not out there right this second. And also Darby McCarthy from Montana. So all 3 forwards on that line from the United States.
Now, they had been paired up at the beginning of the season, but then Tucker Shields got put onto a line with Turner and McCarthy.
Yeah, Shields was kind of the odd man out.
That's right. Telling them the pass, and they're like, sorry, you're speaking Canadian. I don't.
What's this no and no yowl about?
That's right. You said to go left, yeah?
Canadianism's great.
Face-off won by the Voodoos. Up ahead to Thompson, coming in on the left side. Passes across the slot, and the shot is blocked. Ramirez doing everything he can to keep that puck out of the net. Now Powassan going in. And I believe offside is the call.
It looks to be that way for sure. And while we have a quick chance right now, we want to wish a congratulations to Dylan Anderson, who's been named an area scout for the NOHA team that will assemble the top 2008 birth year players to compete in the OHL Cup next spring in Toronto. That's the OHL Cup, Ben Sargent, not the J. Ross Robertson Memorial Trophy, which is the championship award for the OHL. The OHL Cup is the top showcase event for the upcoming 2024 OHL priority selection. And the
turnover in front of the net, and it's turned away by DeRockalo. Sorry, Courtney.
No, I'll
Go
finish
ahead.
it next whistle. Go ahead.
Little trying to move it out of the zone, and he does get it out. And now Reese Smetham going in. On the half boards, it comes to the line. And now the Eagles going in with some numbers on the dump-in. Halfway through the third. 4-4 the score. At the line, Fisher's shot gets blocked, and now Lemke goes in 2-on-2. And they go in offside. All right, go ahead, finish that off.
Well, we'll do that, and then we'll take a quick break. But just to say of note, the Voodoos players who have played on Team NOHA for the OHL Cup in previous years include Caden Dubroy and Caleb Dawson. Also of note, scout and analyst Ryan Gilchrist, who is also doing the shots here tonight, will also be helping out Team NOHA as well. And as you can see, a lot of players that go on to play for Team NOHA end up playing, some big minutes for other teams. But with that being said, we'll be back on the other side of this with more Frontline hockey action.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex. I'm Courtney Kenny. He's Matthew Sugrum. It's a 4-4 hockey game between the Powassan Voodoos and the Soo Eagles, but it was, of course, wasn't always that way. The Eagles at one point led 2-1, or 1-0, 2-1, or rather 2-0, 2-1.
4-1.
And now it's 4-4. So, wild game here at the Sportsplex with both teams buzzing here in the third period, Matt.
Yeah, 3 straight goals by the Voodoos over the last 2 periods. And what did we say at the end of the first when it was 4-1? The silver lining is the Voodoos still have 40 minutes to play to try and get back into this game, and they have done that. We'll see if they can make it even sweeter over the next 9:15. Pass down the left side. That will be icing called as it hits the boards.
The Soo Eagles, the only team in the NOJHL from Michigan, or from the States rather, which is funny because if anybody's watched the new season of Shoresy, which was filmed in Sudbury, it feels like the no-show is starting to model itself a little bit again, like the NOJHL. They got teams in North Bay. Well, we got Powassan, you got Sudbury, you got the Soo, you got Timmins, and then you got a team in Soo, Michigan. So it seems like they're trying to take a little bit from the NOJHL, and as people from these neck of the woods, pretty neat to see it represented here on a TV show like Shoresy.
It really is. Stretch pass out. Here comes Owen Smetham. Owen Smetham all alone. Shot. Save made by Ramirez. That's what, Owen Smetham's third or fourth really good chance in this contest.
Owen Smetham, again, we talked about his points last year before coming to the Voodoos this year. His older brother Reese, playing on this team, was a goal scorer, a great goal scorer last year for the Voodoos, and he's started off hot again this year. But Owen Smetham, only 3 goals so far, but the way you watch him play, you know that he's not going to max out at 3. There's many more goals, I would have to say, coming Owen Smetham's way.
41 shots for the Voodoos, 32 for the Eagles. And we're all even at 4. Shot goes wide of the net. Picked up on the near side, and the Eagles, they are trying to clear it, but that did not go where Fortson wanted it to.
No, not at all, for sure.
It's a pretty low roof here, actually, at the Powassan Sportsplex. So
it is, especially when you look at places like Timmins or,
Sudbury for sure.
Sudbury, yeah. Sudbury's roof is really high in this league for sure. I was thinking, actually, I saw a video come up, and you would be familiar with this. Came up, it was basically Chris Dawson on YouTube. It was a bit of a, memories of the 2012-13 North Bay Trappers who won the championship. And playing in Memorial Gardens, as there's an offside there.
Yeah.
With the Soo Eagles having a good chance. But playing in Memorial Gardens in a league like the NOJHL would be wild, because that's an OHL caliber arena. I know it was before the renovations, but it had just had OHL hockey less than 10 years before that with a centennial. So that's just wild that, a team at this level where you see some of the rinks around the league, it's a smaller, rinks and stuff, but to play at the Memorial Gardens would have been absolutely wild.
Yeah, that's how I got my start, calling hockey play-by-play, and I've been doing games ever since. There's a chance in front of the net. Cannot bury the backhand. A couple memorable years there with the North Bay Trappers organization for sure.
Those jerseys, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I have one, and there's some charm to it, but it's like, man, they did not age.
No. Playing the neutral zone. Here's Smith over the line. Smith has got a couple tonight, puts it in the middle of the zone, and then the shot gets redirected to the near side. There's a chance at the side of the net. Ramirez is down, but the puck pushed away, and now Powassan sends it down the ice. 7:20 to play in the third. 4-4. Little over the blue line, takes a shot, and Ramirez square to the puck and keeps it in.
Ramirez, if the Eagles end up eking out a victory or even 1 point in this game, you have to look at Ramirez as the player of the game for the Eagles. And I would have to say at this point, it's going to be hard to think that he's not even going to get one of the 3 stars of the game, just with some of the game-saving, game on-the-line saves that he's made here in this third period alone. He's had himself a heck of a game, and a good bounce back here for the goalie for the Eagles.
Especially coming off a night last night where he was pulled after giving up 4 goals to the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. Playing the far side corner. A lot of pushing and shoving going on. Waiting to see if the puck comes out of that area. It does. In behind the net. Now it gets up to the blue line. And racing down the ice is Stevens. Going in. The shot goes wide of the net. Poke check made, and it's cleared out. On the back end, the puck is blocked in the neutral zone. Lemke trying to move it over, and now they'll call offside. Shields was trying to time that. He didn't know. I don't think he could see where the puck was as Lemke was tied up on the far side boards, and it looks like they just kept trying to kick it over the line, and Shields was trying to get ahead of the play, but the official called him on it.
Yeah, a couple of offside calls here this evening have gone against both teams when they've been trying to get in offensively. But I mean, at this stage of the game, if you're going to take an offside call, I think you prefer it compared to some other calls that could be made on the ice for sure.
Coming down the ice is Pratt. Gains entry into the attacking zone. Drops it off behind the net. And now they try to bring it to the near side. That did not work, and now Little will race out of the zone with it. Puts it in off the half boards. It goes behind the net. The goaltender Ramirez out of his net to play it into the corner. Now back in behind the net, picked up by Pratt. 5:50 to play. 4-4 tie in the third. Little plays it off the glass. In front of the net. Sends it up the middle of the ice. Off to the far side boards, and Turner's there. Gets control into the offensive zone. His pass through the slot goes to the boards. They try to play it back behind the net. That got blocked. Caulfield up to Fox. They push it off of the stick of Fox. Over the blue line, but a late change there by the Voodoos. And the Eagles will dump it in. Some miscommunication on both sides there. That could have gone either way. And now here come the Eagles. Belanger with the shot, and Duracolo makes a save. Belanger again from a sharp angle, and he scores. You gotta be kidding me on that one. Wow. Belanger with the rebound, sends it on a sharp angle, and it somehow squirts through, and it's 5-4.
Kenny Belanger's 11th of the season, and how this game has gone, that feels like we were just cheated out of a good ending, basically, with the way that puck went in. After everything both teams have put in the net, that stands as the game-winning goal right now with less than 5 minutes left.
It's nothing against the Soo Eagles. It's just I wanted a better goal. I didn't care who scored it. It just... But for the Eagles, yeah.
Wow.
5-4 lead.
I don't... That's... I don't have anything really to say or to add on that one. That's just a weird goal. And for Daniel Duracolo to come back and bounce back the way that he has, and that's the one that beats him, unfortunate for sure.
The Voodoos have 4:40 to push now to try and tie this game once again. Lemke on the far side pushes it in to the corner. Little in behind the net. Centering the shot, and it's blocked. What a job by the Eagles to snuff out that play. Powassan. But then Powassan loses it on the poke check, and the Voodoos dump it in. Do they have one more in them tonight? Shields passes across the zone. Picked up on the far side by McCarthy. At the line now. Played back into the corner. Getting a little help in that corner there. Now it comes loose. Backhanded chance towards the front of the net. That's turned aside and sent down the ice. Potential breakaway chance, but Duracolo knocks it away before Foster could get to it. Now Pouliot with a shot from the point, and that's blocked by Duracolo. Kicked in the near side corner. 3:40 to play. 5-4 Eagles lead. Kenny Belanger with his second goal of the night. And there's icing called.
Yeah, and again, as we mentioned, DiRoccolo had looked good ever since coming back. He was pulled in the first period, allowing 4 goals in that period, but now he's looked solid ever since, and just to have a shot from that angle, and we've seen that before against number 31 as well, especially last year against Timmins in the East Division Finals, but just with the way that he has played, it's really unfortunate to watch that have gone the way that it has gone for Dan DiRoccolo.
He had made 14 saves since coming back into the game before giving up that goal. Playing the far side, Ricci trying to shovel it out. Doesn't work. Eagles go to the net. That gets turned aside. Shot all the way down, and Ramirez has to stop that one. And he comes out of his net to fire it back out to the neutral zone. And here come the Eagles again. A hard hit. And now the Voodoos going the other way. Turner in over the blue line. It's poked off his stick, but getting in his Case. Case sets it up to Little, and his shot just goes high. The captain almost tying the game there.
Yeah, and the Voodoos have definitely had their looks all game long, and if you're Alex Little, that one might haunt you a little bit while you're trying to go to sleep later tonight, especially because of what that could have meant personally for him as well, and how poetic would that have been too. But again, good chance there for the Voodoos as they're going all offense here on the back end with Little and Case out there together. And we'll keep an eye on Daniel DiRoccolo in net too to see when and if he gets pulled in this one.
Little was tapping that stick as he was racing in from center ice. He knew he had a lane to go. And they are going to give them icing on that one.
Yeah, it hit the side of the net. I know the Eagles aren't too happy about that one.
All right, 2:38 to go. I heard it.
Yeah, hit the side of the net for sure, but hey, if you're the Voodoos, you're not complaining.
Thompson to take the draw. Chase Thompson wins it back to Little. Little fires it around the boards, up to the far side. Case is pinching in there. He's got some support. Moving in. They tried to center it to Little, but that's poked away, and it's sent out of the zone. Case sends it up the middle. That's blocked and sent right back to DiRoccolo, and he'll hold on to it with 2:14 to play in the third period.
Well, the last check for North Bay Battalion fans, the Battalion are up 4-2 against the Niagara Ice Dogs, so that's definitely good news for sure. Now make it 4-3 because the Battalion can't let in less than 3 goals. So, anyways.
Is that what they're averaging this year?
Well, in the last few games since the Mississauga game, it's been 3, 4, or 3 at the minimum, as there's a bit of an injury there, but mostly 4 or 5 goals a game against.
Nolan Hendry upended. And offside will be the call there, as Hendry was now getting off the ice.
Very slow to get up to. He left his stick on the ice. It was a bit of a big hit there in the middle of the ice. And you don't see middle ice collisions too often anymore. When they do happen, it always seems like somebody has the wind knocked out of them because of how big of a hit it actually is. So Hendry, hopefully he's able to stay in this one. There's less than 2 minutes now with 1:54 left. So both teams the Eagles are going to look to clamp down and hopefully get an empty net goal at some point. And the Voodoos are going to look to push one past the goal line.
Fired in off the boards. Late to the far side. Smith. Moving it towards the net. There's some traffic there with 1:28 to play, but the Voodoos never really had good possession, and so DiRoccolo stays put. That one's cleared down the ice, and this will be icing called, and now we will likely see DiRoccolo head to the bench, and there he goes. 1:12 remaining.
Coming into this game, as we mentioned earlier, Matthew McMillan had put up 12 points in his recent 5-game point streak. He has 0 points as of right now, so you got to think number 10 is going to be squeezing his stick a little bit extra hard here, as he's the point man right now for the Voodoos with the extra man out there, as they put out Ricci as the lone defenseman. So we'll have to see if McMillan's able to keep his point streak here going.
Trying to push it towards the front of the net. They can. The shot down the ice. They score. And that might do it for the Eagles, who now lead 6-4 with 1:04 remaining.
As mentioned a couple of times now, the potential game-winning goal for the Eagles, very underwhelming. And now that, that one as well for the battalion, or the Voodoos. Just from the other end of the ice, very underwhelming as well. As now it's 6-4 with 1:04, and a very unfortunate turn of events for the Voodoos here, who look to at least get a point out of a game in which they were once down 4-1.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one to look back on, as that one's cleared over the glass and now to play if you're the Powassan Voodoos. I mean, you got beat big last night. You go down early by a pretty significant margin, but you do everything you can to play almost a perfect, 20, maybe even 30 minutes of hockey. You did everything you could to tie up the game, but then just a really weird 1 out of 100 chance shot goes in against you.
Yeah, you're only thinking Austin Matthews is scoring that type of goal.
That's it. Now McMillan sends it around. And you're right, it's going to be really difficult for the Voodoos to not get anything out of this one. Other than maybe just, there's a chance in front of the net, and that one's saved by Ramirez. That's going to be his 39th of the game. Sent down the ice towards the empty net, and that will be icing called, even though Powassan was the guy that was way ahead of everybody.
Yeah,
I don't understand that call at all.
I think that's just a miscommunication there, and that the draw should come to center ice, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen on that one, Matt, is it's going to go to center ice here, as it should have been, like you said, with 5.6 seconds left on the clock, not icing.
The only thing that really the Powassan Voodoos can take out of this one, as the buzzer goes and the Soo Eagles will win back-to-back games on this road trip, and they'll head back to the southern side of the border with a big 2 points. Really, the Powassan Voodoos, all they can take out of this is, hey, we are never out of a game. We were down big. We came all the way back, and we just really got beat on a goal that, again, 9 times out of 10 is not going to go in.
No, exactly. Like, that's the type of goal that you would expect an Austin Matthews to score, not, at this level. And that's just very unfortunate news for the Powassan Voodoos after all that time here. If we're looking around the league, Timmins is picking up a point as they tie it up against Kirkland Lake going into overtime 3-3. Still in overtime between Iroquois Falls and Greater Sudbury. And Espinal is up 4-1 against the French River Rapids, as we'll go to our 3 stars of the game.
And the first star for the Sioux, number 14, Kenny Belanger Jr.
So it looks like Wraith Smith picking up the 2nd star of the game, Kenny Belanger getting the 1st. I did miss who the 3rd star is, but we'll be right back on the other side of this.
Tonight's 3 stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
Bit of a circle here with some heads downs. 2 Eagles players and a Voodoos player. That's Ramirez, and I missed the other Eagles player standing at center ice right now.
It looks like Luke Russell.
And I think that's Tucker Shields as well. Just putting their heads down. Almost as if
I've never seen that. Yeah, I've never seen that before, but that's I mean, I like the sportsmanship out of that, but yeah, I'm not sure what it really represented, and who knows?
Well, if we're going to give our throwing 3rd star out, I think it's got to go to Ramirez in net for the Eagles, as he had himself a heck of a hockey game especially in the waning moments. I called it earlier in the third, if they were able to eke out this win or gain a point against the Voodoos, that, Ramirez would have been a big reason why that they were able to get the points, as he made some great saves in that third period, Matt.
He really did. I think a lesser goalie, after giving up the game-tying goal, probably would have just faltered and not had the confidence. But, man, he went out and made some really big stops. And you know what? Credit the Soo Eagles for really sticking to a game plan, especially after the third goal for the Voodoos. The Eagles really figured out that they're going to need to get in the way of way more shots, and they cleared out a lot of rebounds, and they did not make life easy in the offensive zone. Even though the Voodoos came back to tie the game, after that third goal, I saw a noticeable difference in the way that they played in the defensive zone.
Yeah, they really clamped things down for sure and tried to keep the Voodoos from getting some good chances, although they did get some good chances in that third period, as we mentioned, with Ramirez making some great A saves against the Powassan Voodoos, but ultimately the Voodoos coming up short with a 6-4 loss here at home. They've now lost 3 in a row, going to the French River Rapids, and now the Espanola Paper Kings last night, and now the Soo Eagles. In these 2 games combined, 14 goals against in 2 straight nights for the Powassan Voodoos. Not good stats if you're looking at the Powassan Voodoos right now.
But like I said, I think what the Voodoos can take out of this silver lining is, hey, we're never out of the game, guys. We are never out of a game. We know we can come back, so let's keep that mentality going forward and move on to the next one.
Speaking of moving on to the next one, that should do it here for the Powassan Voodoos. We'll be back next week with some more hockey action, of course, from the Sportsplex, and we'll also have a new podcast coming your way as well. Not sure as who our guests are going to be right now, but I can tell you right now it's likely a defender on the North Bay Battalion. So that's all I'll say right now. Could be one of any 7 guys. I'll let your imaginations run wild with that one. But it should be a fun podcast where, of course, we're going to make fun of Ben Sargent for the whole hour and a bit that we're on air, which I think is always the big silver lining from that one. But anyways, he's Matt Sukram. I'm Courtney Kenny. Mike Brown, our camera operator, and Harrison Clement, who had all the action from down at ice level. This has been a fun one, although a bit leaving us with a bitter taste in our mouth at the end of it. 6-4, the Soo Eagles beat the Powassan Voodoos. And as always, keep your eye on the front line.
Why is Northern Honda servicing more cars of all makes and models? Let's count the ways. 1. Our state-of-the-art facility has award-winning technicians. 2. Northern Honda has the lowest tire price guarantee, no matter what you drive. 3. The lowest synthetic oil change guarantee, and every 5th oil change is free for all makes and models. Plus, new Honda buyers get brake pads for life. See the service difference at Northern Honda, 1250 Seymour beside Home Depot.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day.